Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen in the Alliance for Loki. And in today's video, I just want to post some battleground fights of two newer champions that I'm trying to learn. One is Werewolf by Night, and the other one is Kushala. Both of them are mystics, and both of them are recent pools. And so Werewolf by Night, mine is only a rank 4. Here we have Rintra is the defender on both of us. And so my Rintra is rank 5 and his is only rank 4. So I have a pretty big advantage. But again, my Werewolf is not all that high for my deck. And so the thing with Werewolf is you just want to build up his SP2, and he has the Werewolf by Night Chilling Howl. There it is right there, and you can see his just power goes shooting up. Here I make a huge mistake. I thought it'd shoot up a little more and I'd be able to throw the SP2, but I threw an SP1, which doesn't really do too much. I mean, took him down about 10% damage, and then I get hit again. So this is not a great fight, but yeah, another Chilling Howl in. There's a bunch of power, and this time look what happens when I throw it. The damage off the rupture scales with the increased power of the SP2. And it's just absolutely crazy the amount of damage I do. And unfortunately his Wiccan did not do very well against my Rintra, so that is the end of that. And so Werewolf by Night is really good for this meta. I mean, he has a damage over time champion. He has an incredibly quick and easy and a high damage dealing SP2, especially with those rupture debuffs that you place. And so that's my first battle. Here's another pretty simple battle. This one, I have Werewolf by Night again, and yeah, he's just great for this meta. So I put Onslaught on, which is a very hard defender. He gets Black Widow. It gives me Black Widow Clairvoyant, which is actually not at all a challenging defender. And so this fight is mostly just to showcase Werewolf by Night. It's ridiculousness. So I just figured I'd go for the quick, easy win, and then yeah, worry about the next two fights. I have Morbius, who have been trying to learn how to play too in this. And so Morbius and Werewolf by Night have sort of become my 1-2 punch in this meta, along with several other champions. He's a lot of fun to play. I'm very much considering taking him up to rank 5. I have enough tier 6 class Callus, so I'm probably going to do it. And you can watch this fight. This fight is much more smooth. It always takes me a while, but you see the way he puts those ruptures on, even if you're hitting the blocks. That's really cool. And so you basically have access to ruptures all the time. And so ruptures, I mean, aside from Scorpion, maybe he might be the only one who has immunity to ruptures. And again, just building up that power super quick. Get my Relic involved, big SP2. And that's the end. And so Werewolf by Night, crazy good. And once again, you can see this is almost a perfect score. It was 55,000 the perfect score, and so this is getting close to that. And of course, Onslaught, just ridiculous defender. And so yeah, so that was a pretty straightforward fight. So those are my two Werewolf by Nights. I would definitely recommend putting him into your deck no matter what, because he is good. So now here's Kushala. So this is actually a really interesting fight with Kushala, because I thought about using Werewolf by Night here, but I decided to go with Kushala just to test out her ability. And so she gains power by putting buffs on the opponent, these incinerate buffs, which are a little confusing. They actually don't do anything other than convert to incinerates later with your special. So there you can see I'm putting them on. I'm getting some power. It's not a whole lot. He's also a tricky champion to play because you want to sort of get these what do you call it? Not prowesses, but those blessings. You can see I have 2 of the blessings now. One's from a heavy, one's from well-timed blocks. And now I'm trying to get the third one, which means you need to intercept. So a fair amount of skills needed to play her. And I can't say I'm a great player. I've just sort of been trying her out here. And so I shattered the shield, just trying to get up to an SP1. Of course, I get hit there, and trying to get prowesses to build up that. I think I went for an intercept there, pretty much disastrous. And so just struggling with her. And, Korg is already a pretty challenging defender. And so it is part of the game. But you can see I'm getting some of those. I think I'm getting some of those vicious charges. I think that's what that 3 means, because she is a damage over time champion. Okay, and here I finally throw the SP1. I get a bunch of incinerates on him. And again, just like Werewolf by Nights, the incinerates scale with this node, with the power shield node. So it does incredible damage and absolutely flame broils.
Korg, and yeah, so really powerful. And of course, my defense is terrifying, and so his poor Sunspot could not do much against the mighty Maestro. But it's really interesting to see Kushala do that fight, and I liked it a lot. I just sort of took a risk to see what it was like, just to see her abilities. But you know, she's a champion where I pulled her from my last Titan Crystal. You know, I'm still mixed about how much I like her or not. This is a really interesting fight. So we both put Zemos as our defender. And again, I'm just trying to experiment. So I go ahead and bring up my Kushala. And I can't remember who he uses. He uses Oakling, which should be a good counter. And I'm sort of trying the same thing, trying to get to my SP1. Though I think actually, if I remember this fight, I end up trying to do the SP2 first because that's sort of the rotation. But there I can get 2 prowesses, get the intercept, have 3 prowesses now. I'm actually not sure what any of these prowesses do. I know the one where I intercept, or no, the one when I heavy makes him more aggressive, which is always good against Zemo because you want him to throw his special, which he's not always great about doing. Here I've lost all my blessings now. I think on this one I decided to go for an SP2 to get the Soul Barb, which after doing this fight I realized was a big mistake because the Soul Barb just gets cleansed and really doesn't do anything. The Soul Barb is good if you can get your SP2 first, I believe, because then you can get your SP1, and then that really helps the damage off that. Though that's sort of her rotation, but in this fight it's a bad rotation to use. But anyway, I was not thinking that clearly, and so this is why I like battlegrounds, because you get to have like pretty serious fights. So here I'm at my SP2, I'm all excited, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw that. After he throws his SP1, there he does, and now I'm off to try my SP2 and see what that does, and there I throw it, and it does basically, I mean, it does 50%, but it gets cleansed immediately, of course, and I'm like, oh, so foolish. Why did I do that? But anyway, okay, I'm like, okay, let's abandon that strategy. Let's go for the SP1, and I'm a little worried because the SP1 is going to put on Incinerate, but I think because I'm in the middle of a special, I don't get rooted. I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, usually you get rooted when you make him lose his cleanse, but I didn't, so hooray for that. And now I have enough, and he's still in his armor phase. I put on another 7 Incinerates, and now he's starting to melt. And so yeah, I mean, it worked out okay. Again, this is considering I don't really know how to play her well, but she actually felt easier than I thought. One of my turnoffs about her is I feel she's like a high skill champion, which to be honest, often is really tough. Ooh, it just started snowing outside. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I'm back in Switzerland, by the way. We're supposed to have a major storm and it literally just arrived now. I have to bring my bike in a minute. But anyway, got the victory, just barely. But it's good to see her do a pretty challenging fight. And she gains this power. She's damaged over time. There's a lot of things that she is very well suited for in this meta. So super fun fight. My last fight is one more Kushala fight. This time I give Korg, they give Emma Frost, who's like, is a very interesting defender. You know, just shrugs off a lot of debuffs, so it can be challenging to get any power. But again, Kushala, she gets her power from these Incinerate buffs, and so I thought it would be fine because Emma obviously won't shrug off the buffs. So again, I'm trying to manage my blessings. I still don't really have too much concern about them. There I get the well-timed one, and the intercept, and the heavy, so I get all my blessings. And, you know, I see she gets an SP1. I'm gaining nice power. I do have Mystic Dispersion full, so I should get 10% of a bar power, I believe, every time I put a blessing on her. There I am, dodge the special, and I think I'm going to bait on another special. Nope, I throw the SP1, get a bunch of Incinerates, and again, you can see she's melting pretty well, but the fight's not going to be over in one SP1, so back at it again, keeping on the fights, and there it is. She throws another one, and again another SP1, and that should do it. And so yeah, really cool fight. Again, mine is only a rank 1 7-star, which is unusual. Most of my deck is rank 2s, but she did really well, and it was a fun fight. And so actually really enjoying Kushala, and Werewolf by Night I think is ridiculous. And so it's always a little hard in this meta just because, of course, the meta is, with the power shield, there's a lot of like scaling on the specials, which you wouldn't have, but fun to use new champions and a great place to do them as battlegrounds. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll try and make some more of these just because they're interesting. See you in the next video soon. Bye-bye.